people?
What is up? That is correct. Has the cog tonight. He has the floor. And for those of you that don't know, as I've been a little bit out of commission because I caught the vid. Caught
Not
the
laughing
vid.
at you, laughing with you.
Hey, to be honest with you, it wasn't it wasn't as bad. What's up, geeky guy? What's going on? I got a fever, little bit of a headache. I got it Monday, and today I'm feeling.
It
I tested
appears your
myself. I
computer's
still
feeling
tested
it too.
positive. You can
Not to sh- not to show you no love, Anzo, but since I'm over here on the left or the right, depending where you're sitting, I just want to send a nice friendly shout out to our lovely visitors, the Lonely Banter, Mystic Shadows, Drop Shot, Tony Robinson, just some geek guy. What's going on, fellas?
it's doing the job. Go ahead, bro. Do your
Yeah,
thing.
I'm doing my thing, but back to you. How you feeling? What's up with the fever?
I'm pretty good. I'm just a little bit tired, but I
What's up,
I
what's up?
know the moment I caught it, Danny, because we talked about it right that night. I told you guys that the Roots was going to the Jazz Fest,
Hmm.
right? The amount of people that were there was unbelievable. So Danny thinks that that's where I got it, but it's not. I know the moment I
That's a
got it.
little. Wait,
People are
hold
like,
on. That
"Oh,
was Saturday,
yeah,
right? We're what?
Saturday, yeah,
Wednesday? I,
or Wednesday,
it's about right. When did you feel the symptoms? Yesterday?
Mm-mm. Monday." But I'm gonna
It's
tell
a
you.
little quick.
But I'm gonna. You see, this is the thing, though. I'm gonna tell you what happened, Roberto. I was and I was going to work. Right. I woke up Monday. I was going to
Hmm.
work. I was fine. As I was walking to the office, we got some old ladies in the office. So one of them was leaving. And I'm like, hey,
Hmm.
what's up? Why are you leaving? She's like, oh, I'm not feeling well, blah, 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 this and that, feeling really bad. So I'm like, all right, have a good day. 10 minutes later, I started coughing. And then my chest started to feel away. And I'm like,
That
that's weird.
fast.
It was that quick, bro. Right? And then come to find out that one of the ladies that was at work, she was at work for a whole week, right? She ended up having COVID, but she was asymptomatic, right? But the
Hmm.
one that I seen leaving work, like with her all the time, and she came to work on Friday, and then I found out that Friday she was sick, and then on Monday that's when she came and she left. So she was coming to work sick too, right? So I know when I saw her that day and I spoke to her, I know she must have said it and sprayed it at the same time, and that's when I caught
Hmm.
it. And as soon as I
Damn.
got home, my fever started to hit.
It's funny. When I
But
had COVID, I
all
didn't
good.
have no
What's up,
fever. What's
LB?
up, LB? Oh, synchronized
What
welcome.
up, people? How y'all doing?
You see how we doing up in the head? We come up synchronized and shit.
Yeah.
we missed last week. Bit energized. Looking forward to tonight. So forward that I don't even know what the topics were. I was just happy to be on. But it'll
Hmm.
roll. It'll roll. I'm sure it'll roll. Anzo's invisible, but he's here.
Absolutely. And next week I will be back in full effect with camera on and everything, and we should be good to go. Um, but let me just say this: The Roots, that was the best concert I have ever seen.
Come on.
Dead ass. It was the best concert. I haven't seen much, but that was the best concert I have ever seen. He killed it. Not only did he kill it, he
Who
gave
was
his
there?
band member
All of them?
solos, all of them. He killed it. It was the best thing I ever seen, bro. It was so
Oh, they,
good.
they closed out the festival, right?
Hmm.
It's messed up.
Yeah, the Roots, they put on a real good show. They don't play no games, bruh.
At all, at all. My
They,
boy
they,
was sweating, dog.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
sweating. You could see the sweat
I'll be
dripping
right
down
back,
his
fellas.
shirt.
I told you
Yeah,
about
go
that
ahead.
thing, Anzo. Let me go check.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
brother. The Roots, they don't just run across stage grabbing their nuts, bro. They perform.
Hands down, hands down. And I was so impressed, man. His his guitarist came on, his saxophone guy came on. They all had solos. I was just like, yo, yo. And then when they did the song that he has with Erica Badu, whoo, that lit it up. That lit it up. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, you getting your money's worth with them, definitely.
Oh, that's
It was
free. That
free.
concert's free. That's an
Yeah,
outdoor concert for the
yeah,
Jazz
outdoor
Fest.
concert. It was free. It was so
And
good, man.
and they still don't slack.
Mm-mm. He did.
You know what? COVID really, really put a damper on everybody because I find these festivals that are happening right down to the Grand Prix, everything's like full blown, full blown. People, people,
Galore. Yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah,
Like I was
yeah.
down there, I tried to go to the food fest on Sunday.
Mm,
Um, what they call them chefs, man? Them
I
high
was
end
gonna go on
chefs.
Sunday too. I was gonna go, but we didn't end up going.
We ended up going to Bota Bota, which was, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then we were gonna go do the food fest. And by the time I reached there, that lineup was like 3 blocks long. The
Mm-hmm.
wife was like, "It's moving." I go, "Yeah, it's moving," and so are we. Let's go check a restaurant in the airport. We found a nice terrace, ate. Turned out to be a really nice day. But I'm telling you, Ford, people, oh
I
my
know.
God,
You should have seen Canada Day, bro.
for real.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't believe how much people was out there Canada Day, and half of the people were it. What there was double the amount at Roots.
And you have to understand, to those of you who don't live here, the French people don't really support Canada Day. They still work, they still do their thing. Some of them close because they get a holiday, but majority of the hardcore French people, sorry, they don't close. And if you
Hmm.
try and work on their holiday, which is called Saint Jean Baptiste, they will burn your business down.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So that's how it stays over here, just to give you some
Hey,
insight.
hey, YouTube, he doesn't really mean it that way.
Oh no, he does.
What, did I cross the line again? Did I cross the line? Because I crossed them not knowing. So, no bad intentions, people.
It's all good. What about you, LB? How was your week, man?
Um, so far so good.
Sounds like you're munching on some boom food.
Yeah,
Cool.
you asked me the question at the wrong time, bro.
I see
It's,
that mic just broke, like
um,
gunshots.
unfortunately, Ashley can't make it. She's not feeling well, so she's gonna do a test. Hopefully, she doesn't have the virus again. But G Major, all you guys again, thank you guys for popping in. Much appreciated.
Yes,
And
yes. Just about to hail you guys out.
mhm.
I don't have control to put your comments on the screen. That's still Anzo. I'm just a pretender over here. Like, I'm like the government. I'm over here just portraying, but the man is on my left.
I'm sad Ashley
Watch.
won't be making it because I wanted to hear a woman's perspective.
As did I. As did I. And
On
Geeky
which
guy,
one?
yeah. Um, hmm?
On what? Women's
on
perspective
the
on
Roe
which one?
versus Wade.
Okay.
Geeky guy,
Yeah, for real.
you said you have a rant. I can give you a link to pop in if you want. No problem. No problem. We can get into the topic. Let me know if you want it, and I'll bring up an article here. And so we all know, right? As it says here, the Supreme Court has voted to strike down landmark Roe versus Wade decision, according to initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Otto, circulated inside the court and obtained by Polito, Polito, whatever the fuck that is. Uh,
Politico.
Alito.
Politico, Alito,
Oh, the
Politico.
website Politico.
Oh, that's a website. Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
Politico.
I'm saying it the Latin way. Politico. Break it down to syllables.
All right. So, I don't know. This doesn't really say we hold that Roe Cassidy must be overruled. He writes in the document labeled as opinion of the court. It is time to heal the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representative. So basically, what they're saying is certain states have the right to make abortion illegal. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yo, did you let go of the leash yet? I can't believe it. And my bigger question is, are they going to make them pay come election time? Are we going to find out how many of them people feel the same way as the people who made this decision? Because, yo, it just blows my mind that to know that these things are going on and there's still people who want these people in power that make these kind of decisions where you say the land of the free, you're allowed to express yourself. Meanwhile, you make decisions like this. Wow, that's shocking, and it's shocking to the world. You saw that, like the world was protesting it almost, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
How
Mm-hmm.
could you?
Even
I mean,
even Trudeau came out and was like, "Oh, Canada, you still have your rights over here and stuff like that." So yeah,
they're
it's a
just gonna
whirlwind.
make it worse because all that underground shit's gonna explode now, and unfortunately, some people are gonna lose their life through that because not everybody's certified to be pulling off these procedures.
Hmm. It's
That's
already
scary.
illegal in
It's
Texas.
illegal in a couple of states besides Texas, if I'm correct.
I
All of the
believe
red
so.
states is it red Republicans? Am I right? Because we
yeah,
Canadian over here, we're all one color.
yeah. Like essentially, all the red states, they. Now I don't know what's going on with the numbers today, but essentially most of them have come to bans, like not like a 100% ban, but they like some of the states have made it like, for example, now don't quote me on this, but they've made it to like a number like 6 weeks or something like that, where it's basically almost a total ban. But it's like, from what I've read, a lot of women don't know they're pregnant until what I think like 7 weeks or something. So
Possibly
like,
about that,
yeah,
yeah.
so stuff like that. So some of these states are coming up with numbers where it's like, oh, you're a week too late. Sorry, like know what I'm saying. But like, yeah, that's what some of these states are heading towards a total ban where you just
What's
can't
up,
have.
guys?
What's
So
up? What's
DC,
going
go
on?
What's happening?
I'm doing great, man. It's just that with everything after Roe v. Wade being overturned and Jayland Walker getting shot and killed, it's just I feel like this country's just being plunged back to the 1960s, and it's just been taking a toll on me.
All right.
Yeah,
So what are your thoughts on the Roe versus Wade stuff?
It's fucking bullshit, and they're basically taking 50 years of women's rights and just throwing it straight in the goddamn trash.
All right.
yeah.
I
I
I
mean,
agree with
Brad,
you.
my
You
thing
can't make
is
it any more blunt than that.
my thing is right is these people that that all it's all about the states. It's all about the states. The state should decide. The federal government shouldn't have a say in what we can do with our body. Okay, well, we already know what these red states are going to be doing, and it's like it's real hypocritical to me. It's like you all care so much about a fetus, but you don't care about the kids that are getting murdered in schools.
Facts.
Thank you.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
guys, I actually read a really funny tweet. It said, "Life begins at conception and then ends in elementary school."
Yeah, well,
Well,
the
that's
way the
sad.
states are going, yeah, you know what I mean?
And
And it's messed up, right? Because now, what about these women who were raped, right? What about
thank you.
these women, like maybe because even me, I know it's hard, and some people don't want to have to deal with a kid with disabilities, right? And they let you know, like, the fetus, the child's not going to grow up properly or whatever. And then you have your decision if you want to take the chance or you want to, you know, like you're taking everything away from somebody now. Like all those rights, you're taking them away. There's nothing they can do about it now.
Yeah,
It just
and Anzo, there's something I want to add to what you want to say. So the one argument I always hear against pregnancies caused by rape is that pregnancies caused by rapes are very rare and very
Yep.
rarely happen.
Yep.
But just because they happen rarely doesn't mean we should do something about them.
Hey, and not only that, my friend. Let me add on to that.
Yeah,
They also seem to forget many people who are victims of rape do not report it.
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I
through
agree.
shame, whatever reason.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, these people like, and this is like these conservatives. They all talk about individual responsibility. The government should stay out of my business. It's like, okay, you say all of that, but when it comes to abortion, oh, we should be able to tell you what you can or can't
Thank
do with
you.
your body.
Thank you. And guys, here's the one thing I want to add to that. So the one argument that I always hear when it comes to abortion is, oh, it should be left up to the states, not up to the federal government. Well, there are two problems with that. First of all, state government is just another layer of government. So either
Exactly.
way, you're still putting it in the hands of the government. Okay, that's the first point.
That
And second of all, this is the most important point. Individual rights take precedent over states' rights.
right, and you know why they say that with the states? It's because the states they're from will agree with what they think about things. That's why they say it's up should be up to the
Hmm.
states.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, you see, Danny made a point, and we talked about this before. He said, if you want a child, G major, but the woman does it, it's okay that she has an abortion and you have no say. You wouldn't want the opportunity to raise the child and her revoke her rights. You see, you're right, Danny. I did talk about that. I did say that I
That's
think
a
that
sensitive. That's a sensitive one, yo.
it is, but I also do think that the father, yes, I think he should have some rights as well. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know, taking the rights away completely,
Yeah, I mean,
you
and
know?
Anzo, a better way to put it is this. In the end of the day, the mother is the only one who is capable of carrying the pregnancy to term. She's the
right,
only one who's capable of doing that, not the father.
and
So in the end, it should be left up to her because she's the only one who has that
so
job.
so
No, but
you
I get where Danny's coming from. Why? Because not that I'm taking his side, but just to have an argument here per se. If the father, if the mother decides to have the child, the father, as a duty, must do his part, and
Right.
legally he must pay and do all of these things. Now, what rights does the father have in this whole partnership per se? Because it's two people doing this, right?
Hmm.
So this is why I feel Danny in his statement, even though I feel like you said, Geek Guy, that the woman is basically going through the aftermath of that engagement. Therefore, she has a little more say in the matter. It makes
so
sense.
Hmm.
let me add on to that also. So I'm not attacking Danny. I'm just saying I hear that
Get him.
I hear that reason a lot also, right? Now my thing is if a couple they have a real deal relationship, um, I don't think it. I can't say it's everybody, but I don't think it'll be a discussion where the woman's like, "I'm not having it" in a discussion. You feel me? I feel like they
Hmm.
would have like a real deal discussion. Now, if it's like a man and a woman and it was a one night stand or something like, then that's a whole different story. If she's like, I don't want this baby, and he's complaining, it's like, hey, whatever, we ain't together. We just had a one night thing. So it's like there's a lot of nuance with stuff like that, but I see people using that reason a lot, and it's just like, nah, it's
You see,
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, LB, I don't use that as a reason to take away the rights from women, but I also think that we as men should have a little bit more rights. You know what
But
I mean?
I,
Exactly.
I mean, I don't think it's a thing of saying we don't have rights when it comes to that, because like every situation is different, and I don't think I highly doubt there's statistics out there where it's like, oh, this woman had an abortion despite her boyfriend or husband saying he didn't want it. I
I
don't
think
I
that's
don't know.
mostly under the carpet. Those situations.
Also, lonely banter. I want to add something to what you said. So, are you trying to say that like the man should have more of a say in how the baby should be raised or how the baby should be?
Oh no, no, no. What I'm saying is like I see a lot of people saying like the man should have a say in it. And what I'm just saying is like if a couple is in a relationship and they're having this discussion about it, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm saying I don't think it's a high percentage of the woman just like I'm having an abortion. Whatever you say, I don't care. Whatever, because like okay, if they're really in this relationship and they're like really digging each other, whatever, whatever, I would think it'll be a more nuanced discussion about
I
this.
agree. I agree 100%. Right? I agree. But now let's say, because you do get some women who are stubborn and are just like, I don't care what you say, I'm not doing it. Right? Like, I love you, but I'm not having this baby. And if that's the case, then I think a man, and I don't know what it could be. I don't know. I can't sit there and say that they should force her to do it or whatever. But I think he should
Right,
have a little bit of say to be like, no, like I want my child. You know what I mean?
right.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Now,
The only way you should have no say in the matter is if this woman had made it clear from the get go she does not want to have children.
right.
The
Then you're
kid
right,
taking a
happens,
chance.
you
Yeah,
have no say in the matter. This is her decision from the get go. We
yeah.
know
I
that's
agree.
what she wanted, regardless of how it happened.
So,
Yeah, I
so
agree.
also, I mean, like, I mean, I don't have a wife, I don't have a girlfriend, but I'm just looking at it as like this: if I'm in a relationship with a woman and I want children, right, and we get her pregnant by whatever reason it happened, and she's like, I don't want the baby, then it's like, okay, you can make that decision, but me as the man, I want children, I will have to move on. It is
Uh,
what it is. I'll be
yeah.
You're right.
heartbroken, but
You
Mm-hmm.
got a point.
I will be okay. I
Mm-hmm.
can't
Depending on
make
how
her
bad you want children.
right. I can't make her have this child if she don't want it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Because that'd
that's
be trouble.
right. And
Yeah.
that's the thing I say to you, right? I agree with that. I agree 100%. Like you can't just, but at the same time, it's like, let's say you're like my age, 48. You know, you don't have any kids, and then boom, you finally got a woman pregnant. Now you have a chance to make your bloodline move on, and she don't want to have the baby. And you know, at 48, your chances of actually having a baby are very
You're a
slim
blank
now because
master
you're getting
flex after
older.
that.
Right?
I
You know what I mean?
so for you, I didn't know you was that old. Actually, you look
Oh,
younger.
thank you.
I'm just worried about shooting blanks, boy.
But
As the saying
okay.
goes, black don't crack.
So in that situation, like I would just expect you as a 48-year-old man would have had this conversation with this woman you're with about
Absolutely,
you're at the end of the road of having these children.
absolutely.
So I would think she would be mature enough to let you know, like, look, I don't want kids. You know, I'm not ready for kids. And I would hope you would be more responsible to not skeet in her, knowing this situation, because then you're gonna put yourself in a
Tough in the
situation,
situation.
huh?
No, I agree with you
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Like Roberto said, you have that conversation and you start the relationship, and she's like, I don't ever want to have kids. And then you think that you can change her mind or something like that, then you're the one that's going to get hurt. You're the one that's going to
Yep,
be into trouble. You know what I
that
mean?
ain't right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, here's one thing I want to add to that. So keep this in mind. The guy who is ultimately responsible for putting in the Supreme Court justices that overturned Roe v. Wade, Trump, the former president, he actually came out in an interview with the New York Times and said that the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, it kind of worries him because it came out in a really bad time during the midterms, and it could actually devastate the Republican Party because they could end up losing many seats in the House and the Senate because of this decision, because a lot of women don't want to vote for people who want to take away their bodily autonomy. So
hey,
Yep.
Yeah.
hey, it is what it
Karma's a
is.
bitch, yo.
exactly. I mean,
Karma's a bitch.
all I have to say is only time will tell. I don't know for a fact if this decision will end up costing Republicans their seats, but if it does, I won't be surprised.
Right. I wouldn't be upset at it, but I'm on your side. I still have my doubts because people they just don't vote for midterms. It is what it is. I wish more would, but like, who knows? But there's been so many things that's been happening. It's just like, okay, this should be the green light for you to get it in your head. November, you need to go vote. If you really care about women's rights and women being able to make a choice with their body, like, this should be it.
Mhm. Well, Danny had a question for you, LB. He said, especially if you're married, you are married and your wife has an abortion. You don't think you should have a say, LB?
No, I'm not saying you should have no say. In this situation, you're married, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a real deal conversation between the two of you. And for me, when it comes to children and having babies, I hold men should be more responsible with things like this. Like, you should be using condoms. If you're not using condoms or whatever, you ultimately the reason why a woman can get pregnant. So
Mm,
you should take more responsibility. But as far as that question, I think it's a little bit deeper as far as a marriage, because if you're married and she wants an abortion, I honestly I can't really answer that because that's a marriage, right?
mm-hmm.
That's a bond between you made that sacred bond. But at the end of the day, if a woman wants to have an abortion, us as men cannot force them to have a child. Like we don't know a thing about carrying a child. We know nothing about it. So
Yeah.
for us to be like, "Hey, woman, you married to me. You gonna have this baby. You gonna carry this baby for 9 months." Like, just think about it. What women have to go through for 9 months of being pregnant. Now, just imagine what a woman who doesn't want to have a baby have to deal with for 9 months. That could cause all kind of problems for her and then that baby.
Well,
It, it,
that woman needs to wake up and say, "This ain't the man for me."
Right.
If
There you go.
because I'll tell you now, my wife had a scary second pregnancy. As much as I, want to put a boy out to keep, the name, like Anzo said, I don't want to put her through that again because it was tough for me or tough for
mm-hmm,
her as much as it was for me.
mm-hmm,
The trauma,
mm-hmm.
So like I understand it's an argument to be had, but the end result of this argument is the woman has the say,
Right.
Yeah.
And
and
every
that's all
woman
it should be.
to be honest with you, handles pregnancy differently, right? Because I
Yeah.
remember my son's mother was pregnant at the same time as Roberto's wife was, and I remember
Did
Roberto's
y'all plan
wife
that?
was she was active. Like I remember her being active, right? And
Yeah.
my son's mother was like moving slow and walking like certain ways, like
Hey,
The
Danny.
hallways weren't wide enough.
and I remember saying like, "Yo,
Uh
like
oh. Uh oh.
Roberto's wife is like doing all kinds of stuff." You know what I mean? And because I never knew the difference, I just thought my baby mom was being like over dramatic,
I'm
but
I'm
that's not what it is at
I'm
all.
happy I'm on the left side of the screen. Danny look like he about to smack us around.
What up, Danny?
Bruh.
Y'all some
I
dirty motherfucker. Cause I was
I
trying
know,
to do
Danny.
work and LB talking all this craziness. I got to come on here and be the voice of reason.
come on, slap me around, bruh.
Okay, I'm going to use. You said that, and I'm kind of paraphrasing that you can't make the woman have a baby if she don't want to. Correct, and you're just gonna move on if you find out that the woman don't want the baby and you do.
Or
Did I get
okay.
it? Did
No,
I
what
get that?
I'm talking about in like a regular like relationship. For your one being married, I think it's a little deeper than that. But at the same time, like Roberto was talking and then Anzo was talking, I was sitting back thinking, and it's like, okay, say for instance you force your wife to have this baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that going to make that marriage and the parenting of this child healthy for the future?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. You said it's a one night stand, and
Yeah.
you make this girl and you say, "Look, hey, I just want to have fun. I got a little bit of money, I got a little bit of swag, whatever." And she know that. She says, "Yeah, I'm on the pill," or she does something to tamper with the rubber or whatever, the condom, and she intends to get pregnant. Now, for 18 years, you got to carry that load, and sometimes she'll fool you into marriage if you're a sucker. So you got to do all that. But she has all the power. You didn't want to have that, but now because she wanted to have that, then for 18 years your life was shit forever.
I,
If you're a decent man, your life is hindered on a decision that she made. But then when the reverses are flipped, the roles are reflipped, then she got all the power. And this is unfair for this unfair for that. Okay, how's that fair for the man?
I mean, if the woman does that, that scenario you just explained, then Buddy needs to get a good lawyer in parental rights and figure that one out because that sounds kind of illegal to me, bruh.
Man, that has been happening for years, bro. You know that.
Yeah, that's not
You know
illegal.
these basketball players and movie
Mm-hmm,
stars and people with some
Entrapment.
money
I,
get
mm-hmm.
trapped all the
I'm
time.
just saying, if the woman pokes holes in the condoms, like
But
Man,
that's not happened.
I mean,
Hey,
honestly, bro, th-
did
to
you hear
me,
about? Hold on, LB.
go
I'll
ahead.
let you finish it quick. I just want. Did you hear about the Drake thing? Where
No,
Drake he puts hot sauce in his condoms when he's done, and one of the girls tried to sue him because she took the condom and tried to, get pregnant with it, but it was hot sauce in it, so
bro,
it burned out her
What the
inside.
fuck? What?
like, see, bro, my thing, yeah, my thing is, bro, like,
Okay, wait,
What's
hold on,
going
hold on.
on in this world, yo?
I just gotta give me a break.
all right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my thing, like I was talking about earlier, about men being more responsible. Like for me, I'm not letting women jump off or whatever handle the condom situation. Like me, I'm bringing the condoms. Like they're going to be on me. You feel me? And this and like
Hmm.
I would think you would know if a woman pokes a holes in condoms and stuff. But you know, I
Not
I'm
necessarily.
not saying what I'm saying is it's highly unlikely, but I've heard stories of it.
right.
I've in
Hmm.
my profession I've heard all kind of stuff. And when you're a younger man, you don't think with your head, not the head on your shoulders,
Yes,
you think with
yeah,
your other head. So
absolutely.
when you get that sense, sometimes reason and common sense goes out the window. And
Absolutely.
and this woman tells you something. And let me put this disclaimer out. I'm not saying women don't have the right to do what they want with their body. So don't come here and saying Danny he's other. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that
Hmm.
for every situation, there are two sides of the story. I
Hmm.
think that if you go into a relationship, you definitely need to tell your partner up front, I want this, I want that, whatever. Let know. And then if it's a deal breaker, then you break it off. But you don't need to give the partner false hope. Then when it happens, oh, I'm a woman. I got the right to such and such. No, that's not what you said at the beginning. You said that you be open to it or you may do it or blah, blah, blah. Or if it happens, it happens. But then when it happens and you say, well, I don't want it, then that father or that man who has invested his time and energy in doing that, then that's not fair to him. And I'm not saying necessarily fair for the woman because she's carrying the lion's share of the responsibility for it physically to her body. But if you didn't want that child, you should make it crystal clear. Don't waste your time and waste his time.
You see, and that's what we were saying too, Danny. I agree with you 100%. You have to have that conversation, right? To let when you're in a relationship, hey, do you want kids? Yes, I do. No, I don't, right? And then you have to decide that too. But I'm also on your part too, where I think there are some circumstances where
Yes.
maybe a man should have a little bit more rights than he does, because it's like you said, if he doesn't want it and the woman does, he's stuck with it for life. You know what I mean? But there's nothing he can do if he wants it and the woman doesn't. So I don't know, man. It's just I do think that we as men don't get enough rights, and I think there should at least be some sort of rights, something. But
But
I'm not telling anybody that you take all women's right away. You don't take the whole right away to have an abortion. You don't do that. You know what I mean?
My understanding is in that road to overturn, there are provisions for incest and provisions
um,
for
as
for
Right?
rape.
now as far as that, Danny, it's up to the states. Some states do, some states don't. Some
Yep.
states have it, but they're like basically, hey, if you get raped or if you need to report it within 24 hours. I think that's something. I was watching the news and a prosecutor in Missouri was talking about that. Well, a former prosecutor. She was like, yeah, man, like in our state, don't quote me people exact word for word, but it was something along the lines like, okay, if you get raped, you need to report it and you need to have it all fully documented within this time, or else you can't get that abortion.
That's
So like, yeah,
crazy.
there's a lot of trickery involved in these states. So like, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I mean, we talk about this a lot. Ultimately, this is the federal government can't do anything right now. So this is in the people's hands. Like if you're against the government telling women what they can or can't do with their bodies, you got to show up and vote in November.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh,
if you don't,
That's what I
this
was waiting to
this is
say.
on you. Stop complaining. Like I don't want to
This
hear
is
the.
what I was waiting all this time to blurt out. Thanks, LB.
And
and
here's
hold
another.
on, let me get to this comment real quick. Geeky guy, 1 second. Shifty Gism said, "What brand of hot sauce? Frank's Red Hot." The ad says you could put that shit on anything. I don't know, man. I don't know what brand it was, but you see, that's why Drake. He knows what type of
People
what
are out there.
when you have that kind of status, what they're gonna do. So he was protecting himself in that way. Dandelion felt
So
said,
the hot sauce kills the sperm. That what you trying to do?
no, I think he just put the hot sauce in there. Well, yeah, I think it does, but I think he was just putting it in there, so it's hot sauce, right? But she didn't know that, and she tried to take a condom
But
and fill herself
dumbass,
up with it.
if she see fucking red
Yeah,
semen, then that's a damn indicator that
you
this
shouldn't be trying to
motherfucker
do that.
ain't fucking
Right.
healthy.
Maybe it was dark,
Absolutely.
Danny.
As what I was gonna say
Doing
beforehand.
shit in the dark gets you in trouble. Sorry, go ahead, Geeky.
So what I was gonna say beforehand is that you know how a lot of conservatives and the right wing as a whole in the past 2 years since the pandemic started said that they don't want to get a mask or they don't want to get a vaccine because that goes against their bodily autonomy. And yet at the same time, when the issue of abortion comes around, they take all of their beliefs about bodily autonomy and throw it straight in the fucking trash the moment
Exactly.
abortion comes along.
Exactly.
Yeah. And LB, I want to address what you said beforehand about going out to vote in the midterms. Okay, I'm going to say something. Now, you guys just hear me out on here. But I do believe that the incompetence of the Democratic Party, and because they were so incompetent at protecting women's bodily rights at the federal level, they played a hand in Roe v. Wade being overturned because they didn't do
I knew
anything.
that was coming.
Yeah.
All right. I hear
I
you.
was going to say that earlier.
I hear you. But for me, I'm at the point. I'm not talking about directly you. I'm just talking about overall with people that are Democrats. It's time to stop talking about what we should have done, what you shouldn't have done, and complain about this and that in the past. Like, it's done. Nothing that could be said can be changed. So you just gotta go out and vote and get your people to vote, get registered people to vote. If this is this important to you, that's all that needs to be done. Like complaining. What's up?
Here's the
Let's
thing.
see if majority of the women do it.
I do agree with you that voting is important, but the problem is the options that we have to vote for. It doesn't really tell us for a fact if they're actually going to do something to protect abortion rights, because the Democrats had a chance in the past 50 years before Roe was overturned to protect abortion at a federal level.
No, but they Geeky Guy, they need to know that what they did was fucked up, and by doing so, you're going to lose your position of power. And every time you try and get back, we're going to remember what you did, you asshole. And if the next guy comes in as an asshole, you put him in the same room with the first asshole and give another potential asshole a fucking chance to fuck up and get that room full.
And then that room is going to be full of shit if you ask me.
You know what I mean? So you just push a button and then you start all over.
Anyways, but here's the problem, though. A ballot doesn't represent everything that you're feeling. A ballot won't tell you if that person that you're voting for is really gonna for certain protect your bodily autonomy.
It does. It does actually. Like, people got to do the work. Do the research on the candidates. Look into what they've done, what they're doing, what they're talking about. You can find out all the information out about them. And just to touch on your thing about the Democrats. Yeah, I think they was a little naive over the years based on them thinking the Supreme Court wouldn't do this, based on, like, because when they appoint Supreme Court justices, you all probably know this, but like, they have to go through the hearings and they get questioned. Like, the questions they were asking the justices before they became justices is like, okay, you're telling the truth. Turned out they weren't telling the truth about this. So it's like, yeah, man, what's done is done, and the people, they can make that change in November. That's all that needs to be said about it. So, like, anybody here that's not registered to vote, or if they're not registered to vote, figure whether you want to do it in person, mail-in ballots, figure that out, right? Research the candidates on the ballots, right? And then make your decision on what you want to do.
And
To me,
Dandelion said,
another better solution is to just pressure our elected representatives to do something, because they're not just going to give you your rights back just by asking nicely. You have to put your foot down, get out of there, and pressure them to do something.
Yeah.
You're blaming on the Democrats, but most of those justices, if memory serves me right, were appointed by Republican presidents. You can't blame that on the Democrats.
No,
what he's saying is that the Congress could have codified Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
As what you were saying as far as pressuring I tell people this all the time with everything. Like, I get tired of people complaining about things, about government, and then I ask them, what are you going to do about it? They say nothing. Nothing. They come up with conspiracy theories, their propaganda, whatever. It's like, bruh, if you don't pressure, contact your local government, state government, or whoever, how do you think things are going to change? Tweeting about it ain't doing a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but I would also
Not
make an
you,
argument.
not you. I'm just talking in general.
I know. I'm just saying, like, voting by itself isn't enough. We actually have to pressure them to do something. Even if the Democrats do gain a majority, even a supermajority in Congress, that we still don't know for a fact if they're actually going to fucking do something unless we pressure them to.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Say for example, the Democrats in the Senate, they get enough seats. They won't get the super majority. But if say they get enough seats where they can kill the filibuster, and then they turn around and not do this, well, then 2024, you got another choice. I mean, Joe Biden will have to answer some questions if he decides to run for re-election. He's like, okay, we gave you enough seats in the Senate. Why didn't this get done? You feel me?
Thank you.
I'm gonna get to these
And
comments
LB,
here.
and LB,
Hold on,
here's the
hold
thing.
on, hold on, JD. Hold on, Geeky. I just want to get to these comments real quick. Dandelion said there needs to be conversation about sex before sex in general. People seem terrified to talk about it honestly. You know, some people do. I don't. You know what I mean? You talk about that all day, every day. Um, People shouldn't go into relationships hoping to change other people's minds. That's not a healthy thing to do when into a relationship. I agree with you 100%. That's why you. I think most relationships I've been in, I've had that conversation. You know what I mean? Do you want to have kids? No. You know, or first you ask if you have kids. You know what I mean? Do you have any kids? No, I don't have any kids. You want kids? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Right? And then you decide where it goes from there. But you definitely have to have that conversation.
It be kind of messed up if you get in a relationship with a woman and then you come over for the first time, you realize she got kids.
Dandelion, I agree with you. That is fucking bullshit.
What? Like that 10-year-old that was raped and had to go to another state to get an abortion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and guys, if you thought that wasn't bad enough, there are even states that are putting in countermeasures to prevent women from traveling out of state to get an abortion.
Right. Yeah.
And the
Damn.
driver be held liable too.
They'll figure out ways, bro. That's why work has need to be done. Like the Democrats as a party need to stop fighting with each other. They need to change their messaging and make sure, they get enough
I
seats.
mean, LB, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm just saying, like, the entire reason we voted blue in 2022 with 2020 was so that the Democrats can actually do something about police brutality. Because one of the hot topic issues of 2020 was was police brutality and the systemic racism within the criminal justice system.
Where's Danny?
Yeah, I know. Look, Danny, I know you're a cop, but just hear me out. And it's just that it's just the problem is
Love it.
the Democrats promised us they would do something about police brutality, and they barely did anything to help the black community.
I mean, no, the problem with that is, and no, I hear you, right? Like with politics, you have to campaign on things, right? And people have to go out and vote. Like they didn't get enough seats in the Senate to be able to do a lot of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the problem is, like Joe Biden, like okay, he was in the Senate. He thought him coming in, he could be able to work with the Republicans. He completely forgot what they did when Obama was president, right? Like the Republican Party don't want to work with the Democrats on nothing.
They want to sabotage them.
So that's the problem. They're obstructionists. So like that's why it's important for people to go out and vote and make sure they can get more senators. Because if they have more senators and then they still don't do anything, then hey, whatever happens to the Democrats after that is their problem.
Could I ask you guys a question? Sorry, could I ask you a question from a non-experienced Canadian? How does that guy McConnell get elected?
Kentucky.
How does he get that position?
Kentucky. Kentucky's a real red state. That's where Ashley's at, and a lot of them are behind the times. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I just want to reach in the TV and choke that guy, man.
Right.
Me too. I want to just choke this goddamn turtle.
You feel me?
Here's what Matt says. Matt says, I'm probably safe in saying this, but y'all would be pissed if the government decided to have mandatory vasectomies.
Thank you.
Right.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, man. But like, Yeah, man.
It'll be a
Yeah.
problem.
From
It'll
in
be a
my 30s and
problem.
40s, and it wouldn't stop me my dick from getting hard. Okay.
But hey, as far back to the police brutality thing, they actually they was working towards getting something done, and then Tim Scott, senator out of South Carolina, black senator by the way,
Fuck that guy.
he basically pulled out of it. He was like, you know what, never mind. So that's the
Well,
problem that the Democrats have with a 50-50 Senate, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Bro, it ain't
and
even Democrats or Republicans. Y'all got to realize, you're looking at the picture wrong. You can't do drastic changes in the United States because people just ain't going to go for it. You got to do subtle changes, and on top of subtle changes, you got to do change. The only way things get changed is when something hits home to one of those senators, one of those representatives. They have to have some kind of tragedy, something tragic that we go through every day. The normal person goes through every day. It has to happen to them. Once something like that happens to them, then that's when this ball of
uh,
fire gets on their ass and they start doing it. But
Yeah,
as
yeah,
mhm.
long
yeah.
as they're staying in this glass house on top of the hill, above the people looking down at us, it ain't never going to change. You have
Yeah.
to do
And
subtle changes.
and you
And,
were
and
oh, go ahead, Danny. Sorry.
and somebody
Finish.
said something about the individual rights. No, it's like Star Trek, bro. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. There's only in certain situations where that one outweighs the need of the many. So that's just the way it is.
And
I
and
should
I'm
it
gonna
be the
give
other way
Dan.
around?
And
It
Danny, and
should,
Danny, I just want to
but it
remind
ain't.
you, 70% of Americans support Roe v. Wade. So
And
But I'm gonna give an example of what Danny was talking about, right? Just the crack epidemic. They only started fighting that shit hard once it got into the white communities. Once the white people started doing it, that's when the war on drugs really took place. But as long as it wasn't affecting them and it was only affecting our community, they didn't care.
Now all this meth and stuff that's going on now, that's in the white community. You don't
Hmm.
see no war on drugs now
so
yeah,
because this meth and all this other heroin, that real potent stuff, that's being consumed by white America.
and
Hmm.
guys,
Arkansas, Kansas, all that kind of
Facts.
stuff, and they're not gonna go in there with police brazen, doggone guns and bulletproof vests and dogs. They're not gonna do that.
and since you guys brought up drugs, the best way that the United States can solve the drug epidemic problem is to just look at how Portugal handled it. I mean, Portugal, they basically solved their opioid crisis by decriminalizing all drugs and providing rehabilitation and making it mandatory that all drug addicts go through rehabilitation clinics. And when they started rehabilitating drug addicts instead of incarcerating them, then their opioid deaths and drug incidents started declining as a result. So if we really want to solve our drug crisis, we just have to look at Portugal for the answer.
I don't believe in all that safe place to do drugs. I'm dead set against that. These safe zones like that. That's crazy.
Coming from the police officer.
Hang on, a safe zone. So you want to have a safe zone where you shoot up heroin? That's crazy.
Well, you see,
No,
the
I'm
thing
not, I'm
with
not
me,
saying I'm not
I'm
saying
not saying you. I'm
I'm saying
saying there are
rehabilitate.
safe. There are safe. I'm cool with rehabilitation. Don't have a problem with it. But there are safe zones now being placed throughout America where the addict can go there and safely get high. That is crazy. That to me, that is empowering that individual, not rehabilitating them.
I think they're just begging them, pleading with them to move away from the public schools and the public parks. Go somewhere far. This is for you. Go do your drugs over there because arresting them is not solving the problem.
Arrest them and then
You could not arrest enough drug users because
I,
for everyone you arrest, there's five, six more coming.
I think if you arrest a drug user and put them in a comprehensive rehabilitation center, then you're trying to do the right thing. Now, if they choose to take part of it and learn from that and get off of the drugs, okay. If only one person out of 10 do it, then to me that is successful. Just
But
lock
to
them up, like you
rehabilitate
said.
yourself, you have to want to.
Yeah,
so
but sometimes
But
it's just like anything else. You want to do it, but you don't have the means to do it. So you just keep doing what's comfortable.
you see, if you force that away from me and you keep it away from me, as soon as I come out, I'm running for it. Especially if it's a hard drug, because most of these guys, if they go back in their hood after the rehab, they fall right back into the same trap. You're hanging with the same people who are blazing the same shit you were blazing for before. How long is it before you give in victim? Start blaming, oh, I can't get a job or some bullshit to go and do it, right?
question for y'all. Do any of y'all know anyone that has been addicted to heroin?
No.
I know
Not
heroin.
personally, but I knew of one guy who was always in the park.
Like a personal person.
No.
Not
Not
heroin,
heroin.
but other drugs
Crack.
I've known people
Yeah,
personally.
me too.
Crack, yeah, there's all kinds on
Bruh,
crack.
heroin, bruh, I promise you, that might be the worst, bruh. Like, it completely ruins a person. Like,
100%.
I agree.
it
Zombie.
just, yeah.
Zombie.
This
Yeah,
person I went to high school with, bruh, it's just like, man.
I'm
but
gonna
you
tell
see
you
the
what's worse
thing
than
is,
that heroin too. That damn malt liquor. I've seen
is
guys
it
my
really?
age. Oh yes, I've seen
Malt
guys
liquor
my
worse
age.
than heroin?
I'm talking about far as making you physically look all fucked up and shit.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
I've seen guys my age. When you look at them, you think they're like 70 and 80. They wake up in the morning time going to the liquor store to get fucking beer.
Billy D fooled them.
Malt
Mm-hmm.
liquor is a much stronger version than regular beer.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
But
What I was gonna say about this situation though is, I hear what you're saying, Donnie, but I think what they're doing now is not working. So if they can find another method that works, or helps rehabilitate more than just putting them in jail, then I'd be down for that. You know what I mean? Because I remember when they were planning on legalizing weed here, right? There was all kinds of people. Oh my God, Canada's gonna go all crazy. It's gonna be like crackhead. Like people were
The
literally
crime rate's
thinking
gonna climb and all that
that
bullshit.
because they legalized weed, that it was gonna get worse. And I'm like, no, people are
Got
just gonna
better.
be able to smoke their weed for now.
People
You
are
know what I
happier
mean?
now.
Right. They don't have to hide it anymore, right? You can go to the store, you can buy it there. Now, it's not heroin or anything like that. I still I don't think you should legalize heroin,
Hell no.
but I also think there are maybe methods you can help a heroin user get off of it,
Heroin Island. Send them there.
or
I
something,
mean, I don't know, bruh. Like, cause like I said, this person I know, bruh. Like, she was going to the place to get the it was a shot she was getting on a regular basis to try to give her the urge to stop wanting to take heroin.
hmm
Be right
It
back.
just never worked, bruh.
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel you.
It's
I feel you. But
it was
and
sad.
also too, I think the person who's on the drugs probably has to really hit rock bottom
Yeah,
and really want to get off of it. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
all about the willpower. If you don't want to get off of it, and if you're forced to go into rehabilitation or something like that, then it's not going to work. The minute you get out, you're going to go straight back to doing what you're doing.
Not necessarily because sometimes you can be in such a fog, and then somebody pull you out of that fog, and then you get your bearings back,
You're right.
and you can do it. So I think it's a combination of how bad they want to be at it, or does somebody give a damn to put in the energy? Because
Yeah.
that story a few weeks ago we were on the show, that cop that stood by that guy.
hmm
That cop gave a damn about the guy, and then he went to prison, but he was able to get him out. And now look at him. Sometimes all it takes is you giving a damn. Because right now, as a society, and I'm getting to this sometimes too. I can see somebody on the side of the road, and my family with me, but that thing inside me say, "Danny, you're not in your police car. You're not in. So how about if this person got somebody on the side of the road trying to rob you or something? Because we get a lot of that.
hmm
Then not only am I putting myself in danger, I'm putting my family in danger. We get that cynical side to us, and sometimes we just don't give a damn. Then sometimes like for me, what gets me, I see somebody holding up a sign while I'm hungry and that kind of stuff. I always have to, hey, I gotta give some money or food or something.
Right.
But
Uh-huh.
sometimes that could be a scam, but you don't know. So
hmm
I say this is that sometimes it takes maybe me giving them that food or whatever to get them over the hump when somebody didn't give them the food and they possibly could die or try and rob something to get food. You don't know that. So I
yeah.
Yeah.
mean,
Hey,
No,
Roberto. Is Roberto there?
no, he went. He said, "I'll be right back." And I agree with you, Danny, 100%. I do think sometimes maybe the person doesn't know that they want to get off it, and someone caring about them. Because I've watched those shows,
yeah,
I can't remember what they're called, but
intervention,
the yeah,
intervention.
intervention, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And at the beginning of the show, this person's like, "I don't want to, like, I'm doing my life. This is my life." Then they get into it, they realize, hey, there's more to life than the drugs,
Hmm.
and they want to change. So I
Hmm.
believe there's that situation too. I just think the majority of the people don't want to do it. They have to want to do it. You know what I mean? I think there's certain situations for different people.
I
So
agree.
So, so
All right,
yeah,
fellas,
but
it's been
Danny got to
fun.
bounce.
I got to
all right,
bounce,
What's up,
man.
man.
Have a
Danny?
good
I'll get
night.
at y'all later.
Hey, before
Thanks for
before you
coming,
move
Danny.
on, I saw you posted. I saw you posted a question. Someone asked, "Do you think Joe Biden will run again?" So
Fuck
for
no.
me, for me, I
Peace, Danny.
originally, I
Later.
originally thought
Yeah.
he would just do the 4 years and then not run again because he thought I was thinking they'll get the country back in order after the Trump years, and then he was like, let someone else run. But there's been so much chaos, and I still don't think he's going to run for a second term. But I'm thinking if they could somehow get enough seats in Congress in the midterms and start getting his agenda that he originally wanted to get passed done, then he could pass the torch. But
Uh,
I don't think he'll run again.
Ooh, man,
Kamala, Kamala Harris should run in his place.
I watched so many interviews, and I'm just like he's doing a speech, and like he's reading from the prompter, and there's a line in the prompter that says repeat what he just said, and he actually says repeat the line. You know what I mean? Like he's reading the prompter and it says repeat line, and then he says repeat line, and then he goes back and reads the line again.
We talking
And
about Biden?
yeah, and I was just like, oh man.
I mean,
Hey,
see
Roberto,
this the thing about him, man. Like, and I keep telling people, y'all got to stop listening to these people making stuff up about him. Like, he's never been a good speaker, never. He always messes up, and I keep
Oh,
telling people this.
he
Like,
messed up.
people don't watch like his entire things. They just see clips here and there. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not making excuses for him, but like a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, he has dementia, he has Alzheimer's," and it's like, bruh, stop it. Like this is Joe
okay.
Biden, bruh. Like people as they get older, they age. But for them to be saying things like, "Oh yeah, his mind's gone," and blah blah, I'm just like, stop it, bruh. Like
Yeah.
his wife would not allow him to run for president if he had dementia.
Roberto, can I ask you?
Yes.
So I have a good friend of mine that me and Anzo streamed with him. I think he might add a lot of great points to the discussion about Roe v. Wade and Jayland Walker. His name's Mark. Anzo, you remember Mark from our Thor Ragnarok stream?
Yeah.
Sorry, Love and Thunder stream. Yeah, I actually think we should invite him over to the show. I asked him if he wanted to, and he's down for it. You don't mind if I send him the link
It would have been good, but we're gonna move on to the next topic though.
with Jayland
So,
Walker?
yeah, so if he wants to come on and talk about that, he can.
So, yeah, before you do that, so
Hmm.
someone said they think Joe Biden has dementia. Like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but I've worked with people who has Alzheimer's and dementia. Like, I did like kind of like documentary work a few years ago,
Hmm.
and Joe Biden don't have what they have. Like, for example,
Yeah.
I interviewed a bunch, and it's like you would be talking to them, having regular conversation, and it's just like they just completely don't know where they're at, what day it is, what year it is, like all of that stuff. And it's sad, bro. Like it's really sad. And for me, just to think, if someone knew Joe Biden had dementia, and let him run for president, like that would be awful. And I
Absolutely.
doubt the people around him, knowing like all the tragedies he's had in his life, would let him do that.
Yeah,
And
LB, there's one thing I want to add to what LB said. LB, did you know that Ronald Reagan had dementia in his final years in office?
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I mean that was obvious with him.
right. And my son's mother has amnesia, right? Um and yeah, you know the difference. Like they don't know, you know, her daughter's name. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
Like
one last thing. One last thing. For example, if he had dementia, like when he does the like press things, like when he did the press thing and he talked to all the press, he wouldn't randomly call on Fox News knowing Fox News is going to try to do a gotcha moment, things like that. I mean, if you watch his full speeches, like for example, the State of the Union, if he had dementia, he would not be talking for 2 hours straight.
hmm.
Thank you. Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
look,
true.
man, look, we know he's not perfect, but like, stop that stuff, man. That is really, to me, it's
They're just trying to
disrespectful.
discredit him,
Yeah,
LB.
like,
They're
Yeah.
just trying to discredit him. Even those memes, like I was
yeah,
saying to somebody, I wonder if they're true. It's just somebody putting them together because there's a lot of Biden haters out there, and they happen to be Trump lovers. So no
Hmm.
matter who is in that seat, and listen, be it Biden's old, he's slow, whatever the case. I'm not a Biden guy either. I just know that this guy is doing a lot less harm, according to me, law that I've seen growing up, than what the previous guy was doing. The other guy was a rebel.
Yeah.
He didn't know his boundaries. He didn't know his placements. He didn't conduct himself accordingly. No president should be on fucking Twitter.
I mean, yeah. This is
especially a president who incites an insurrectionist attack.
You know what I mean? And denies it like everything else in life.
I mean, for me, like, it's not even me being a Biden apologist and all this stuff like a lot of people say. It's just like, bruh, at the end of the day, I pay attention to this stuff. He's not as bad as you think he is. Like, he's not the worst president ever. He's not doing this or that. He's doing his job. He's doing what he can with what he has. He's not perfect. He's not going to go down as the greatest president as ever.
If we really want to know how bad he is, give him 2 terms.
Right. Just compare his first year and a half to what Trump did in his first year and a half. And there's no way you can say Trump's a better president.
Facts. And
Yo, did Danny know who we're going to talk about? That's why you flexed?
Yeah.
Daddy's funny, yo.
You know. So this is what happened. It was when was the date? Was July 9th it happened? Jayland Walker suffered at least 60 wounds in fatal police shooting. Akron police chief says as authorities release body cam footage. So guys, I'm going to play the body cam footage that we have, and we're going to check out this.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, hey, that voice sounds familiar.
That was professional. That was professional, bruh.
I was looking the other way.
Yeah. Authorities in the city of Akron released about 18 minutes of body camera videos, each minute offering a different perspective, showing 8 responding officers before they opened fire, shooting and killing Jayland Walker. After the release of the footage, Akron's police chief said those officers will have to be.
You could have just tased him, you know.
One of the shots they fired.
They did.
They need to be able to articulate what specific threats they were facing, and that goes for every round that goes down the barrel of the gun.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome.
What's up, G?
Over the weekend, shared more about
What's
the
going on?
perceived
Not much, man. How about yourself?
during the pursuit,
Hanging in there.
including a single
That's
gunshot that
Thanks for
allegedly
asking.
came from.
By the way, we're watching the body cam footage of Jayland
So-
Walker.
They say the muzzle flash image captured by state traffic cameras is evidence, and investigators later recovered a shell casing at that scene. It was shortly after the car chase turned foot chase that you can see in this video. Those 8 officers opened fire with a barrage of bullets.
You hear
Officers
those?
described Walker reaching
Yeah.
his waistband right before they
Sounds
shot
like
him.
4th of July.
Walker was unarmed at the time of the shooting. The Akron Police Union released a statement saying the decision to deploy lethal force, as well as the number of shots fired, is consistent with use of force protocols and officers' training.
What?
The examiner's report showed Walker's body
Something's
had
fucked up about their training.
wounds as a result of gunshot.
Yeah, I know why they're training them like that. That's fucked up.
Have a gun on you,
Exactly.
and you drop
Exactly.
the
This is
weapon and
bullshit.
leave, and you see him running across the parking lot. You can't drop him and seize his body with bullets. After the release of body cam footage nearly a week after the shooting, tensions flared, sparking a 4th day of protests in Akron.
What I did see is, him get out of the car and start running when people firing on him. And does it take that much?
Walker's family says they want to get justice for Jayland in a peaceful and dignified way.
We don't want
Wait, they must have shot more than 60 shots if 60 wounds got him.
They did.
Mutilated his body just because he ran away from them. Come
Personally, I
on.
want to scream out and be mad, but what is that going to do? We want to take that anger, we want to use it for the benefit of systemic change.
Exactly.
All right.
Do you guys want to go first, or?
Well, Mark, your first time on the show. Welcome. What do you think?
I think it's really fucked
New
up.
numbers from the Consumer Price Index last
hold on.
hour show.
Roberto? Thank
Oh,
you.
that's not me. That's Sanso.
Yeah,
I'm,
hold
just, I'm a fake host.
Oh, right.
on. There you go. All right, it's gone. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm saying, man, that's really fucked up. 60 shots? They hit him with 60 shots?
60.
That's what they said.
Jesus fucking Christ. And that's consistent with that. Says a lot more about that says something's wrong with their training. Jesus Christ. Something's wrong with just policing in general in this country. I mean, black men are automatically treated as a threat, no matter what. It reminds me of it's like the guy in Charlotte I forget his name, who got shot just sitting in his car, had his gun, and the cops just freaked out.
Are you?
Costello.
I think I know who you're. I think I know who you're talking about, Mark. Is it Philando Castile?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I got.
Hey, listen, I get it, right? They say he shot at them, which it looks like he did. But when he ran, he was unarmed. There is no reason to shoot him 60 times.
Why didn't they shoot when he got out of his car, when his car stopped, after 2 or 3 steps, to justify that one shot to shoot? That's like calling a foul 5 minutes later.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And Nzo, keep this in mind. The police knew he was unarmed when he got out of the car because
they found the gun in the car.
Yeah, the moment he got out of the car, they clearly saw that he wasn't carrying a weapon. So the fact that they shot at him, even though they knew he was unarmed, come on.
Yeah, they actually found the gun. They found the gun in the car, right? So obviously he didn't have it when he was running. And I mean, all right. I don't know.
Lives were a threat. No.
That's what we had this conversation earlier with Danny, and we're asking him, and he's like, he's like, you gotta neutralize the threat, but someone running away from you unarmed is not a threat. You know what I mean? Exactly. He wasn't a threat to them, and they shot him 60 times. What do you think, LB?
My thing is, no one should be getting shot at over 60 times by a cop, for one.
Mm-hmm.
For two,
maybe that guy in the school.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, okay, that's different.
Shot.
Sorry, that guy wasn't shot.
You see, and that's the thing I'm talking about. There's the discrepancy there. This guy goes into a school and kills how many people, right? Mm-hmm. They catch him there with the gun in his hand, and he goes out in handcuffs.
Yeah.
This black man is running away unarmed, and he's shot 60 times.
Nzo, I guarantee you, if that shooter had even just an ounce of melanin on his skin, he would be riddled with not just 60 bullets, like 500 billion bullets riddled into his body.
I agree. I agree.
Also, like my other thing is, you're doing this over what? He evaded you, like, bruh. You have so many cops in your city, like, you can catch this guy if you need to. Like, doing all that, it just seems extra to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the internet age. I mean, come on, you got the guy's address. You could go to his house. He's got to come home sometime.
Right. Unless this guy, he's murdered somebody, he's evading you. Other than that,
exactly.
Like, what's the reason for all of this extra Grand Theft Auto stuff?
Exactly.
Absolutely. And I'm looking at the article now to see why they were actually chasing him. I'm trying to see if I could find that. But
I think it was a traffic stop.
Yeah, he took off on a traffic stop.
He had no criminal record.
Wow.
Same thing happened in North Charleston.
You hear about fucking cops shooting people all the time. When you get pulled over by one cop and all of a sudden there's 6-7 cars pulling up and you've done nothing, hey, you might run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to die tonight. Maybe I can get away.
Exactly. Like if all of these cop cars start piling up on me like it's a fucking Blues Brothers movie, I would be scared too.
That's some crazy shit, man.
It says here the incident began at 12:30 a.m. last Monday when police saw Walker fled as officers attempted to initiate a traffic stop for traffic and equipment violations. About 40 seconds after the pursuit began, police say a gunshot was fired from Walker's vehicle. Okay.
And
can I just say one thing to everybody who's listening and watching? Regardless of this man's origin, had it happen to anyone, it's fucking wrong. Not just because he's black. Had it happen to anybody, it's fucking wrong. And if these cops don't pay criminal, something's fucking wrong. That's what I can say. I'm sorry.
Roberto, Nzo, can I ask you guys a question? I want to know your stance on this. Lonely Banter, are you black as well?
No, I'm white.
Oh, okay.
He's black.
Okay, that's good. I want to ask.
Hold on. I sound Caucasian.
No.
Not
I'm
at all.
sorry. I just couldn't tell because you had your camera off all the time. But I want to ask all three of you this question. What is your response to the one talking point that conservatives always have of, oh, if you don't want to get shot by the cops, why don't you just comply with what they say? Like, what do you think of that talking point?
I don't want to be Gumby.
Seriously.
And
Philanthropist, Hill, Amir Rice, that's my,
No.
that's my answer to them.
and let's be real, we've seen times where we comply and we still get shot. You know what I mean?
Adam
George
Toledo.
Floyd.
Facts.
Adam Toledo. Remember Adam Toledo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep this in mind. He had a gun on him, but when he dropped the gun and put his hands behind his head, just like the officer told him, the officer shot him anyways. He complied and still died.
I mean, these people's version of comply is, yes, sir, no, officer.
Yes.
Like if you ask a question, you're not complying. You feel me? Like we can come up with many.
Not everybody's asked the questions in the same manner. That's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
You know, if we're all treated the same, like, you know, you see a guy who's fucking doing stupid shit like we did one on where we said, why did that guy do all that shit that he did? He kind of provoked it because, I mean, not that it's right that we should be treated like that, but we know we're treated like that. Like, you go into a neighborhood where there's a fucking high crime rate and you get robbed, you can't be fucking surprised.
Yeah.
If you are, you're a moron. That's all it comes down to. That guy was a moron and he paid for it with his life.
Right.
You know? But this kid, I don't know what he had done to fucking receive the outcome he received. There's nothing that justifies that, man. Nothing.
Like,
Donnie was like the only. Oh, sorry. Go, Elby. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so he shot at y'all. Okay, he was running away and he shot at y'all. Like, what is the chances of someone evading someone and shooting and hitting you?
Facts.
If he stops and turns around and faces you, okay, at least you had reason to maybe think he was, but he's still running.
And
he shot at them from the car. I mean,
the accuracy, pinpoint accuracy he has.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the bullet didn't hit any of them.
Yeah, he would have to be like Tom Cruise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you
No,
watch
no,
a
he
porn
would
movie
have
or
to be
something.
fucking-
Yeah.
Freaking James Bond. Jesus.
No. He would have to be Floyd Lawton to pull that off.
Right.
Yeah,
and my
dead shot. Yeah.
and my question is this: so there's 60 shots, right? How many hit him before he dropped? So let's say he got shot once and fell. That means you had 59 more shots while he was lying on the ground.
Exactly.
There's no way he was up for all 60 shots.
Exactly.
That's fucking humanly impossible. Not even in the movie you would take that as for fucking reality, man.
There's not meth in the world for him to have been still up.
Exactly.
And for all 50 of those shots, there's no way.
Like this is real excessive. Now, if he would have shot at a cop and killed a cop, and you shot and murdered him, that's a whole different story. But like that didn't happen.
He didn't ram their cars. He didn't threaten their life at no point that we've seen. And they're not making mention of it, so they can't fucking throw that in the mix now.
Yeah.
So I don't, like I said, from what I've seen, nothing justifies the outcome. I don't care what the fuck Danny said, that you got to eliminate the fucking process. That's bullshit. Is that from state to state? Because I've seen many times where that did not apply, and it just so happens that, like you said, Nzo, it wasn't a brother.
Yeah. No, but Donnie was saying that, meaning that what happened to him wasn't justified.
Okay.
Right, because he wasn't a threat. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry, I took it the wrong way because, you know, Danny's always defending his team.
Him running away wasn't a threat, you know? So he doesn't think that he should have been shot that
But he is a righteous po-po.
Yeah.
We love you, Daddy. We love you, man.
This is another tragic situation. A young brother,
yeah,
killed by the cops.
Fucking sad.
And
fucking sad.
Do you guys think that these cops are gonna pay a price for this?
Absolutely.
Dude, this is the fucking United States police force we're talking about. Accountability is a foreign thing in their world.
Yeah, I think they're probably gonna end up saying that it was justified because he shot at them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this clear right now. The United States military, in some cases, actually does a much better job at accountability than
You
even.
know,
the
many
United
times I said that, geeky guy. In the military, you can't fire till fired upon, and that's how it used to be in the police force back in the 70s and maybe 80s. But when they started fucking getting the downgraded military issued fucking armory that they were getting back in the day, that's when shit changed.
Exactly.
Oh fuck, we got to use these weapons.
Oh yeah.
So let's put some dangerous guns on the street to give us reason to use our dangerous guns. We're gonna justify the means. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Tell me I'm thinking out the fucking box.
Hey, Mark, you mentioned to me before that your father served in Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
So if your father like shot an unarmed Vietnamese Viet Cong member, he would have been
court-martialed.
Yeah. Dear God, yeah. I mean, Jesus, you don't do that shit. No. Dear God, no. I mean,
it doesn't matter what fucking rank you have on your shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't do that shit. I mean, Jesus Christ,
this is another thing this country needs is police reform.
Scary world.
Yes.
The police.
Someone put out a song like that.
Yeah, the police is just basically the Wild Wild West. Not what you see in those movies.
They're the legal gangsters, man. We've been saying that for the longest time. They are the legal fucking gangsters. They protect themselves. They're protected. They fucking bully. And if they fucking catch a guy doing road, they penalize him because he ain't sharing.
Yep. Code of silence. Yep.
Nzo sent that to me, and I was like, I mean, we've talked about this so many times on your
screen. They got a code.
It's just like, man, I never even heard of this one. And
you know what I'm saying?
I watched it, man, and like my heart just dropped, bro. Like I'm serious. Like
LB, you know, every time we do these shows, at some point, either I or Nzo say, how many of these have happened that we don't know about?
Right.
And then we find one, we start talking about it, and we find out it happened 4 years ago. Why the fuck are we hearing about it now if it happened 4 years ago? And it's like the way they're giving it to us, it's like it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Smith said it best himself. He said racism isn't getting worse, it's getting filmed.
Yes.
Who said that? Who said that?
Will Smith.
Okay.
Yeah. He said that racism isn't getting worse, it's getting.
I don't care who said that, old guy.
Yeah,
that's fucking makes sense. It makes dollars, yo.
No, I was talking to one of my subscribers about this, right? Because they was talking to me about how like they just keep calling me racist nonstop, and she was like, racism isn't getting better. Like it didn't die like a lot of people claim it is, or none of that stuff. It's still here. It's just, people they're taking the hoods off, like they're feeling more empowered. To do these type of things, and it's like I said, like you mentioned, the cameras are out. We're seeing these things more and more.
I mean, for me, just from my perspective, young white kid growing up in the South, 1992, the Rodney King thing was shocking to me. I mean, it was shocking to me that they got away with that. I couldn't believe it. Black people were not shocked. They're like, "Why are you shocked at that? That happens all the time."
And you see, that's the thing. Rodney King was pretty much the kicking off of all of this that we have right now. You know what I mean? Them getting off, and
exactly,
it was all started with that.
Well, you could go back even further. Really, the old Watts riots. I think it was '67. Old Watts riots in '67. I believe that started with a young black man who was killed.
Yeah,
by the cops.
Yeah, and look, a lot of people have been trying to use all of the riots as a way to discredit the movement, saying, "Oh, you people are so violent and intolerant." And listen up here carefully. The government and the authorities, they're not gonna stop killing us if we just ask nicely. The only way we're gonna make them stop is by putting our foot down and telling them to stop.
Exactly.
We have to fight
it's been happening for so long. If you don't change your ways in trying to get the message out, then are you not rightfully deserving of it?
Yeah.
We're fucking tired of screaming. Now we're fighting. Fighting's going to change into another fucking. We're going to evolve into something if you keep treating us this way. And if we don't, shame on us. Shame on us. It's fucking sad. Yeah. But whatever they're doing it right because we are not banding together.
Yeah. And Martin Luther King Jr. said it best: "A riot is the language of the unheard."
Exactly. Exactly.
It's all good. And that's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's the thing. Like I mean, we march, we do all of this and riot and stuff like that. It still hasn't changed anything yet. You know what I mean?
Let me follow up with that. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I don't have a problem with people protesting,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, to me it's not something I would do because for me I feel like it's counterproductive. Now, I tell people like, look, man, if you want to protest, do it. But you got to do more than just protesting. You
Right.
got to put in more work because
Mm-hmm.
these people see you protesting and they're like, okay, that's cool. You can protest all you want. Clearly, you're not coming to us to actually do some changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so people, you can protest, but there's more work to be done if you want to make change.
Absolutely. 100%. That's what I was saying. Like the riots, all that stuff, you know what I mean? But there has to be more than just that because we've been doing that and it still hasn't changed.
Right.
So it
And
has to be more than that. And I think,
so,
oh, go ahead, Obi.
oh, no. Go ahead. I'll follow up.
No, I was gonna say I think we as black men and women we need to stand together. You know what I mean? Stop being so divided in certain things. And until we do that, we're not gonna get any change.
Yeah. And so like Geeky mentioned MLK. Like, so I'm not attacking you tonight. I'm just like you saying a lot of things that like I can follow up with. But like I was going to mention, so Dr. Martin Luther King, he was doing marches, protests, all of these things, right? Getting arrested, all these things. But at the same time, he was also meeting with the people in Washington D.C.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
getting things changed. So people don't
Mm-hmm.
forget that. Don't forget that aspect.
It was a strategy. It was an entire strategy to bring attention to the problems in the movement. So to
Right.
exactly because he knew he knew if he could provoke a reaction from the racist white authorities. It's like they said there's that great scene in the movie Selma, where he talked about how they were actually defeated in the town in Georgia. I forget where it was, where the sheriff just didn't lock them up. They just had them bailed. They would lock them up and have them bailed out as soon as they got in there. So they never could fill up the jails.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how they weren't able to provoke him. But whereas in Birmingham, they were easily able to provoke Bull Connor. He's like, and I need to know, is this sheriff more like the other guy? Is he a Bull Connor? And that's when they told him he's a Bull Connor. Like, all right, we can work with that.
Mark,
So
I
it's
think
going to be all over the 6 o'clock news, all over the country.
yeah, it was filmed nationwide. And Mark, I think the marches that you're referring to were the Montgomery marches in 1964.
No, there was one. I forget. There was one town in Atlanta. I forget where it was. I want to say Athens, but I don't think it was Athens. I forget which one it was. I thought it was it's not Atlanta. It was some town in Georgia where they were marching against segregation there, and they didn't allow the sheriff just kind of locked them up, and the white conservative citizens council, the real rich whites who ran the town, they would just bail them out. They bail them out. So because the strategy was they would purposely get arrested and fill up the jails, there would be nothing they could do, So they would just attack them, and it would get them on the news. So I mean, that's where we're trying to provoke a reaction. That's where we're Montgomery. Yeah, Montgomery was definitely Bull Connor. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Montgomery was definitely Bull Connor. So. Mm-hmm.
It's funny because we always end up like almost every month having a topic about a cop shooting.
Exactly.
Like every month, Roberto, we have one.
Well,
of
you
these
know
shows.
what? I think it's at the point where we could have them several times a month.
Yeah.
It's only based on information we get, right? And I think if we were to get full-blown information, we could probably have one every fucking day.
By the way, I had that wrong. It was Birmingham was Bull Connor. Birmingham was Bull Connor. That was 64. I don't know why I thought Montgomery, but Montgomery is where it started with the Montgomery bus march. But
I'm wondering what that number is at now with the mass murders.
Oh, jeez,
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
These conversations are needed.
God fucking
Yeah,
damn.
I think they are hands down. I think we do need to have these conversations, because if we ain't talking about it, who else going to talk about it? You know what I mean? Like these conversations need to be.
If we don't talk about it, it becomes fucking normal. Ain't nothing normal about that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And and my camera's starting to disagree with you because it constantly keeps falling off for some reason.
It's a fucking strong topic there, geeky guy. It's fucking can't handle the turbulence.
Why do we fall, Jazz?
So we can learn to pick ourselves and yada yada yada. By the way, Anzo, on July 20th next week, we're going to do a live stream for the Dark Knight trilogy on its anniversary. You down?
Hell no.
That's why he's my partner, because he keeps it real.
But Anzo, you can
Nope.
let out all of the hatred you have for that trilogy on my stream.
Yeah, but you probably want me to watch those movies again, and I'm not doing that.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Hold on. So I rewatched Batman Begins today, and it pissed me off, man.
Oh God, I don't
My
know.
review was just fuck Rachel. That's my review.
But Mark, you gotta admit, like, out of all the Batman movies, Batman Begins was out of the Nolan trilogy. Batman Begins was the one that actually felt like a Batman film.
Yeah.
Wait, how the fuck did we go from talking about police brutality to Batman? Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
It's all good. Let me know when you're doing it. If I'm free, I'll probably pop on. I can trash that movie. I'm good. Roberto, have you watched The Boys yet?
Nope, wait until it all
It is.
gathers
It's
up.
done.
Oh, it's done?
It's
All out now, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Could get some popcorn.
Yep, go and watch
Because I see my boy on Facebook just keep saying, fire, fire. I'm like, I can't wait.
I just watched, because since I got the vid, I've been home watching movies. And I got to say this, I watched The Harder They Fall again, and that movie is absolutely amazing. I think that movie is a 10 out of 10. I fucking love that movie, man.
Who's that?
Yes, The Harder They Fall?
Yeah.
Roberto, it's on Netflix. Go watch The Harder They Fall, bro.
What's that about?
It's a black western. With
Yes, I have seen that. Yes, that's really good. That's really good.
Idris Elba, Jonathan Mayers, Regina Hall, Lakeith Stanfield.
Is that the bootleg Terror on the Prairie movie?
No. But hold on. Let's get to this for a second, because you've seen it, right, Obi?
What, Terror on the Prairie?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's horrible.
Or awful.
Oh my god. But guys, if you want some real black excellence, just wait a few months until Wakanda Forever comes out.
Oh, I got one before that. In September, you got The Woman King coming out.
That one looks good.
Looks really good.
That looks good. And then we got Nope coming out too.
Nope.
The Jordan Peele one.
Nope.
Yeah, we got some good movies coming out.
You know it's funny, Anzo. Now you mentioned The Harder It Fall, because I never heard of. No, that's a lie. I heard of the movie, but I completely forgot about it. Because otherwise, I would have talked about it in my Terror on the Prairie review. Because I mentioned Posse in it, so it's like all of these people riding for this Terror on the Prairie movie, this western, this old school western. Why they not talk about the harder they fall and stuff like that?
And when I tell you, The Harder to Fall, the soundtrack, the acting, everything in that movie is good. Like, it's really good, man. And there's a twist at the end too, where I was like, you got a western movie with a twist at the end, where I was like, holy shit, yes, fire.
So there's a part 2?
No. There's just a twist that you'll be like, oh shit, it's so good. It's an amazing movie, man. Watch it.
Yeah, if I can remember the title.
The Harder They Fall. For me,
that shit on my notes.
I think it came out last year, and I think that was the best movie of that year. The year it came out, I think it was the best movie that year. Like, I have it as one of my top 10 movies for sure. It's really good.
So I'm not gonna give you a whole review of the Terror of the Prairie movie, but like, if they didn't promote that movie like it was going to be the greatest thing that you was going to ever watch, I think people who did trash it wouldn't have trashed it as hard. Because I mean, I don't think it's a good movie, but it's like, if they didn't promote it that way, you watched it, it's just like, not something I'd watch again or like. You feel me? But like, it didn't deserve the marketing and promotion they gave to it. But like, I understand why they did it, but really, it didn't need the whole Gina Carano has been uncanceled. It's just like, bruh, I wish you would stay canceled after watching that.
And it is a Ben Shapiro movie, so right then and there, that
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I can't stand that guy, bro.
Hey, it's like, okay, you all talk about we ain't doing this woke stuff, we ain't doing that, but they essentially did all the stuff they claim they're not going to do.
LB, I just gotta ask, like, what does it even mean for a movie to be too woke? Like, I never understood the full extent of that term. Like, what does that
Look,
mean?
man,
Oh my God.
really, to be real with you, it to me it's just too many non-white characters. That's all it is.
I gotta find this clip that I was watching because I was watching Netflix today, right? And Bill Burr has a stand up on there. And I kid you not, he talks about the woke and he's like, oh, some white person heard some black person say woke, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna take it. I'm gonna see if I can find that before we close up.
Yeah,
Oh
that's all it is, and it's been
Hold on, I gotta mute it.
switched around.
So just having a diverse cast of characters alone makes a movie woke. Like, how does that work?
I mean, based off of my usage of YouTube and seeing how they use the word woke, that's all it is. Yeah.
yeah.
He's right. That's the way, you have anytime a movie has a certain number of non-white characters, then people say, oh, why is this woke? Such and such. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
When people complain about cancel culture, nobody is ever canceled. They tried to cancel Dave Chappelle for his anti-trans comments. He got a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix. He got another deal with Netflix. J.K. Rowling, same thing. She got another multi-movie deal with Warner Brothers. Shut the fuck up. Nobody's being canceled. Yeah. If anybody is, then it's just like, it's the same shit people have always gotten in trouble for putting their foot in their mouths and saying something stupid, and nobody wants to work with them anymore. Yeah. It's always happened.
And the funny thing is, I don't know how much money J.K. Rowling has, but she wrote the Harry Potter books. She got the movies. She will be okay.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Seriously. Exactly. She'll be fine.
Yeah. And guys, like for example, like I always laugh at people who say that Star Wars is too woke. Star Wars has always been woke from the beginning. Like the entire movies are basically a metaphor for the Vietnam War. George Lucas even made that clear.
Yeah.
And not only that, like Star Wars is based in space.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Basically, yeah.
Like, bro, it's in space, bro.
Yeah,
like, what?
exactly.
It'd be a little hard for me to find the clip. I'll try and find it for next time. But it's just funny because we had the conversation. Like, if you go back and watch one of our shows, Ashley comes on and she breaks down the whole woke thing. And just to hear him come out and say it like exactly what we were talking about was hilarious to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because like a lot of people, they like to go do searching and stuff for people that said quote 20 years ago. Like I used to say like woke a lot, right? But then it's like I said, when you use YouTube and you start seeing people,
he is a hack,
doing certain things, it's like, okay, I'm gonna cut back on this because I see how y'all are using the word woke.
Yep.
Because like for me,
exactly.
I know when I'm watching the TV show and I know when some Hollywood does their agenda in a TV show or movie. Like I will call that out. But it's got to the point where if there's two females in a movie talking too much, if there's two black people in a movie, it's woke. So it's like, yeah, man, like I'm not with it. I'm not with it.
Same here. Because I remember I watched the Chucky series, right? Which I thought was really good. They really took the essence of the original movies and put it in that show. But because the original character was gay, they were calling it woke. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, just because you got a gay character, lead character, doesn't mean it's woke. Like, come on now.
Right.
But everything for them is an agenda. Like, it's
with people, characters of color or characters who aren't straight. Then all of a sudden, oh, it's woke. It's woke. Shut the fuck up. This is real life. I mean, these people are around, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
And Mark, remember when there were a lot of Christians on Facebook who were calling for Miss Marvel to be canceled
Oh God, yeah.
because the main characters are Muslim?
They try to
I've
go
seen
to
that.
Starbucks every year because of the red cups. For crying out loud! I mean,
Yeah, I've seen that. There was actually a group called like Cancel Miss Marvel or something like that, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
now there's a bunch of parody groups of that. Christians against such and such. I mean, it's become a big joke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going to be canceled by Christians. Just say Xmas instead of Christmas.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Too much information is fucking confusing, man.
Yeah. No.
X is the first the cop. First character I wrote in Greek. Greek how to spell Jesus with Christ.
Hey, Nzo.
Yo.
Yeah. Remember that fucking bald, ginger bearded idiot that you used to do live streams with, who complained that fucking Jonathan Kent was now woke and was now gay because DC was going woke? Remember that bullshit?
Yeah.
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 Well, now he just made a video about how Spider-Man has turned gay and that he doesn't have a problem with it just because Marvel is doing it. But when DC makes their characters gay, like Jonathan Kent, now he has a problem with it. Like, where's the consistency in that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is what it is. But at the same time, I think people were calling the gay Spider-Man woke too, and I was like, why? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's the same thing with. And I know LB doesn't agree with it, but to me, it's the same thing with changing, like, race bending or whatever. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. If you want to give me a black Jim Gordon or a black Superman or black this, I don't care as long as you stay true to the character. That's all that matters to me. You know what I mean? So if they want to cater to the gay crowd and make a gay Spider-Man, so be it. I mean, you're not going to be the ones buying it anyways, so why are you worried?
Exactly.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
See, I look at it from a creative side. That's why I have problems with it. I'm just like, look, man.
Duck Dodgers, go fuck yourself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, go ahead, Geek. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. For me, I look at it from a creative and progressive side. Like, look, man, if you want to do all of this stuff, if you want to make a gay character, if you want to make a character black, create a new character or use your existing characters that you have that are black and make something out of it. But like, I'm like I said, I'm at the point where it's like every TV show or movie or comic that makes a white character black, I'm not going to be out here talking about it because at the end of the day, I like, for the most part, I don't care. You feel me? But like, because like a lot of this stuff I don't watch or pay attention to. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, man, it's just some of these people just be going overboard, bruh. Really like y'all just don't want anything not white to be on your screen.
Yeah.
That all white and straight. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? And it's like you can complain, oh, they made Jim Gordon black, but then when you see the performance, it's like, okay, well, he did a good job. You know what I mean? Well, isn't that's what matters?
Exactly.
Did he do a good job or not? That's what matters.
And to add on to like, and you know what's wild about it? Like, we as black folk, we don't be out here outraging if a TV show is all white.
Facts. Facts.
We don't outrage if we watch a horror movie and there's one black person, they get killed
and he
first.
dies right away. You know what I mean?
But reverse, these people are going crazy about it.
Yeah.
I watched the Ozark, and I don't think there was any black people in the Ozark. And I fucking love the show. But you don't hear me sitting there saying, hey, man, there's no fucking black people in the Ozark, man. Yo, what kind of show am I watching here? You don't see me saying that. I just want to see a good show.
Anzo, here's the thing. Like, the only circumstance I can think of when making a character a different race is a bad thing is, like, for example, if they made Black Panther white, of course that would be a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or, like, as Mystic Shadows pointed out, if they made Storm white, that would piss me off too, because her African descent is a big part of her character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that, right? But now let's say they made Steel white. Would that change his character? Not really.
I mean, Steele's like his Black American roots is kind of a big part of his character too, because he grew up in like a bad side of town, and that kind of did play a part in his origin. So that could,
yes, it did. But you could also have a white guy that grew up in this bad side of town too, as well, right?
Touche,
Brad. Straight up, let me tell y'all one time. in this Facebook group years ago. This was before Black Panther came out. I think it's like when they was in pre-production. I made a post in this MCU group about stating they should cast. This was before Chadwick got cast. I said they should cast Keanu Reeves as T'Challa. And I came up with a whole entire post breaking it down, bruh. That post probably had over 100,000 replies. I promise you, they were going crazy, and like I wasn't backing down.
LB. I just gotta ask, what kind of fucking shrooms were you taking when you were making that post? I gotta
Bruh,
try that.
I just felt like trolling, bruh. I just felt like
Lonzo,
Yeah.
LB.
Shifty's calling you out, man.
What Shifty say?
Fan, baby.
Dark had 2 black FBI.
Okay,
agents,
yeah,
the gay guy and the
yeah.
pregnant lady.
Yeah, the pregnant black lady. Yeah, that's right. It did.
So it's basically just
But
You gotta watch what we say on this shit, huh?
yeah, I did.
People are
I
educated out there, bruh.
I forgot about the pregnant lady. She had a big role in it too, right? So I forgot about her. The other one I don't really remember, but yeah, he's right. There was 2 people in it, but I mean, even still, there's 2 people in it. You know what I mean? 2 black people. You don't hear me complaining about there's no representation. There's only 2 black people in here. I don't say that
hold
shit.
on. Were the black people in Ozark good black people?
Yeah, they were good. Yes,
Well,
they
that's
were.
too many
cops.
then. Too many.
Yeah, for real, too many good black people. I agree.
yeah.
I agree. Hey man, it was a great show, guys. We're gonna close it up for the night. Appreciate everybody that came in. I'm gonna let you guys run around.
Not bad for a
shout out to
COVID guy,
channel.
huh? Not
Yeah.
bad for a COVID guy. Suddenly became energetic. Just slide me back over my spot, man. I feel uncomfortable here.
Nah, man, you did great, bro. What are you talking about? Stop it. You did great.
Shit. You know what? I had fun tonight. This was a good show, man. Met 2
Absolutely.
new people. Glad to have met you guys. You're welcome back anytime. LB, you know we roll.
Yeah, bruh.
And shout out your channel, LB.
Yeah, what's up, people? My channel's called The Lonely Banter. I talk about a little bit of everything. You know, I'm always going to be real with you, whether you like it or not. Probably won't like it, but it is what it is. I appreciate y'all having me on the panel again. And shout out to everybody in the chat. And, you know, just some old guy, just some geeky guy. Y'all just some good people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Preach, man.
All right.
Absolutely. Some old guy. Shout out your channel.
Yeah. Well, his actual name is Mark Thompson, but
Yeah, that's my name, Mark.
Man, you doxed him.
Yeah, I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got some old guy.
LB Onzo, I just said his first and last name. It's not like I gave away his social security number or anything.
Yeah, Shifty, I did catch it. It didn't hit me hard though. Like I felt it, but it didn't hit me as hard as I thought it would. So
it's good.
That's good, bro. Good, bro.
Just got to stay the fuck away from everybody.
Yeah. You know what that means, right?
You gotta stop kissing everybody, Onzo.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No.
Get up one night, look at you.
No TLC, nothing. You know what I mean? Just quarantined. But Mark, shout out your channel.
Oh, I don't have one. I actually don't have one yet. I need to.
Don't worry, I was there too once upon a time, Mark. That's how I get the cricket love. Every time I'd announce my show, you hear crickets. Because I didn't have nothing to say.
Exactly right.
Geeky guy. Shout out your channel.
Thank you. Which is my username right here. Yeah. And we just did a stream with Onzo about Thor: Love and Thunder, and he dropped a hard R on that stream. Just saying.
Yeah, it was trash. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you, Danley, and much appreciated. Don't forget you can pass COVID to the pets too. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that, but I think she's fine. And Roberto,
what's up?
Your channel, shout it out.
Shout, Joe. My shit's on the DL for a minute, as you all know. I keep saying it every week. Glad to be back here Wednesday. Looking forward to the next show. See, guys, if you see what Mads is sharing there, that's called Cricket Love. Because brings back memories of the days when actually they're back again. But I can talk about this show a little more because we're on episode 2 something, so I'm feeling love. Glad to be here. Glad to meet new people all the time. Subjects tonight were super raw, and yeah. We'll be back on Danny's show when sports are relevant again.
Absolutely.
Hold on. So y'all not streaming every night about the Kevin Durant trade rumors?
No.
Come on, man.
No.
There's easier ways to fall asleep.
You're not talking about Draymond Green's hot takes?
No. But
Just not enough material, LB.
I do watch this Dream Sports or something like that. And this guy, he goes in on Draymond Green almost every video, bro.
Bruh.
He goes in on him.
I know.
Okay, guys. Seriously, we're 2 minutes past 12. So are we gonna?
Yes. What are you doing, Anzo?
Yeah, we close in.
Announce your shit, Anzo.
I feel like we have sports at the end, like just a little snippet every week now, bro.
Yeah,
it's something. You guys. Yeah, we know you guys ain't into sports. You know, you guys are real nerds. We get it.
I love the NFL though.
NFL's around the corner. That's a good thing.
Oh God,
Training camp about to start. Preseason about a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and that fucking punk ass Tom Brady's back.
Hey! Put some respect on my goat, bro.
All right, let me just shout out the people that
we don't do baseball. At least I don't.
No,
Sorry, man.
No,
I don't care for baseball.
I'd rather watch golf.
Facts. Mystic Shadows, Drop Shot, Tony Robinson, Basil, G Major. Who else was in the house?
Dandelion, long time no see.
Puff. Yeah, for real. Glad you came to watch the show.
Mads Love.
Mads, Mama Bear, of course. Then McCon Scott was in the house as well. Triple X. I see Lonely Banter there, but he's on the panel, so.
Yeah, we mentioned Shifty.
Don't be disrespectful, bro. Say hi, bro. I was first.
Chow dropped in for a minute.
Actually, you were first, but yeah. Hi. Who did I say? Shifty Gizm. Yeah, I was in the house as well. You know, appreciate all you guys that came in and popped in, man. It was a great show for sure. You guys kept us on our toes and stuff. You were engaged in the conversation as well. It's always a pleasure to stream with you guys, man.
Had I had control of the comments, I'd have put more of your comments on the screen. Like I said, I'm just a pretender over here.
So Roberto won't be back on the show anymore. I don't know what the hell he was thinking with that comment.
It won't be long. You see what I'm saying? It's all good.
And Geeky Guy, you've been on Chaos List before, but this first time on the O.O.C. Thank you for popping on. Mark, again, appreciate you guys coming on too. It was a pleasure. Respect. You know, kept the conversation going. But with that being said, guys, we will see you next week. Peace, love, and hair grease.